just forgot. Just walked right past the flower shop because I'm an idiot. No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Then that's the thing is we need that's the basically once I get through the any percent runs, I want to we're gonna need to crack that before we even begin to tackle all endings. We need to crack that because I think that's obviously going to play into it as as you're gifting multiple people per day, you're spending more time in the day in general. So as the others maybe change locations, I also need to like actually write a proper complete NPC schedule, which I haven't quite done yet. Because I don't know all of the variable I don't know all of the variable days. Like, Lila's Sunday is could be a couple different places. Nice. Yeah, that would be anything you can come up with. I can give you the notes that I have, but it's not much really. It's just I think it's in my paste bin actually. It's just I'm not sure exactly what the pattern is because it works one way with some NPCs and differently with others. But also I think it's probably connected to in some way connected to this phenomenon where the boost changes depending whether you talk first or gift first. I feel like they have to be related in some way. I was thinking, what if one thing I didn't test is like, because there's a couple different ways you can look at the pattern, of course. So it's like with Lewis, for example, if you talk first at the Carpenter's or at Ronald's garden, he gets +5, but if you gift first, he gets a normal +4, right? And then the same could be said of Bob, I believe, in his day off location, but at his day off location, he normally gets +6, and it goes down to +4, I think, not down to +5. So the pattern can't be like -1. So I was wondering, what if it could be an oversight? I haven't tested this. This is just kind of like an off-the-wall theory. Don't know if this, it's possible, but probably unlikely. What if the game is giving them the boost that the gift gave them? Because the gift gives +4. So the way you could test that is you could give them a +2 gift and then talk to them. But it seems like it is just affecting their day off location, or I mean, what you would call their day off location. I guess it's not always. I don't think that's the case, but that's an example of just an alternate interpretation of the pattern, and I think there's multiple ways you could look at the pattern, and it's not clear to me what the actual answer is. So yeah, no, I'd be very curious to see you come up with something. Once I finish Fishy Story, I'll be just doing a lot of research, I think, because I'll need it for treasure hunt. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, Lila's another example, because she gets a +5 at the lake, but I think I'm pretty sure it applies to all of them. But I didn't test everybody. It seems to be a day off situation because everywhere else they get +4 from the conversation anyway. No, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So this is yeah. So it's relevant even for treasure hunts. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to do that research right away, even before I get into all endings. And I have to believe that's optimal because a lot of them don't require a lot of affection. So if you could, the fewer days that you can compress that into, the better. Okay, I'm buying seeds game. Thank you. Man, why couldn't you have just given me that sub 1, you stupid game? I know it's possible now, so now what the hell? I'm gonna have to grind for sub 1 now? Like, is that what we're doing? Sub 8 all endings would be hella hot, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm really not sure if... So do you reckon that Japanese or English PS4 is faster for all endings? I think that's kind of a big question. At least that's a question I have. It does seem, I mean, it definitely seems like Japanese saves a ton of time. Well, but the thing is, you only go through the intro one time with the goddess. And that saves a lot of time on the goddess. Yeah, it's really hard to say. I get the feeling like it's PS4. Because my load times are not that fast, it feels like. Seems like Japanese is definitely fastest for any percent, but yes, exactly. That yeah, of course, yeah, actually, that's true. Except for the treasure hunt. Yeah. But for all these other ones, it seems like Japanese is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll still do it on Japanese, of course, but I'm still curious to see what would make the what would allow the sub 8. But I definitely think with proper routing, I mean, I was already amazed that Uber was able to get such a low 9, as it is. Because I'm not saying that he did no routing. Obviously, he figured out, he came up with an ending order that he, felt was appropriate. But I mean, naturally, since with any ending like that, the first few routes, especially when only done by one person, very little collaboration. Me and him pretty much did our runs basically independently. Didn't really talk about it at all. There's bound to be a lot of optimizations to be found. So, I mean, the fact that he got such a low time already makes me optimistic, I think. Really? Right. Damn, that's actually crazy. Damn. And then you figure, okay, with proper routing improvements, then it could be like definitely sub 8 could be doable. Damn, dude. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is that correct? Yeah, because then it was Thursday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, yeah. This is Sunday, yeah. Okay, good rain, good rain. See, and with as much rain I got in the last run, I actually still made it by the 14th. By the summer 14 to the... That's true, yeah, it's actually crazy. Yeah, so I would love to see that happen. That would be like, that would make me, I would be very satisfied with that, I feel like. This is Sunday, I said. Are you serious? Why is it so much? What notes add so much time on? Because any percent is less than is like 2 hours, right? Monday. Wait, MM 100% or MM? No, you're saying all notes. So just another 50 notes? Seriously, that's crazy. So you don't, but do you think it could go, you don't think it could go much lower? Okay, well, I'm not, dude, we really want some herbs here, dude. That was another nice thing about that last run, was the herb count was solid. Monday, I gotta keep counting. I can't lose count here. Sub 10. Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Sub 10. 1.0 has barn animal affection spans, which saved a shit ton of time. Ah, I see. We have 1.0, 1.1 differences. Okay. We want rain here. Come on. Rain. Right, right. Wednesday. Thursday. So how do you get someone to confirm that it's 1.0 though? That's the problem I always had. Is I can't remember what I was trying to buy online, but I know what it was. I was trying to see if I could get a 98% disc, and instead of an 88% disc. Not that it matters. That's kind of an aesthetic difference. But the person would refuse to check. You literally just have, I can't remember what it is that it doesn't count correctly. It's like power berries or something. I'm like, dude, just get one power berry and tell me if it counts towards the Friday. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So that makes more sense then. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. So this is the Japanese version though. So you need... So 4World was only released, so that means that it's Japanese only, right? Because 4World was the international version. Right, okay. Right, this is Friday, yeah, Friday the 12th. Right. Fogaru. Fogaru. get herbs. Cool. Guess we're just gonna lose this run to herbs. Just gonna lose this run to herbs. No, dude. What am I doing? Yeah. Saturday. This is wonderful. Harvest Moon. Saturday the 13th. Herbs, anybody? Anybody got some of that sweet, sweet kush? Dude. Come on, boys. You're letting me down. Thought you had some of that good shit. That's sticky icky. Come on. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, technically I still have 10 days, or actually 11 days to get it, but I mean, that means I literally need... You can get like 3 herbs in a day, but it's like... Oh, are you serious? What? They just like, their dispensary... well, that's a good point. I mean, I'm sure their dispensaries are shut down. Good point. Fuck, dude. How are people gonna calm down during all the panic, dude? Fuck. Ouch. So is it recreationally legal in DC? Wow, get screwed. That's a red herb. No. Like, obviously you could check every day in the lake area, but that's just big time loss, so we don't do that. Wow, get fucked. Get fucked. Wait, what? So wait, there are real dispensaries? Or you're saying, I guess you're saying that it's medicinally legal, so you buy it from medical dispensaries, and then you just share it. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Monday. That makes more sense then. Oh, this was not a good mild season. This is basically average, I would say. The last run was very, very... I literally got like... I think I got 5-6 days of rain, which is exceptional. I mean, 101, I'd be happy with just a clean 101, and maybe if I ever had, you know, if I ever hated my life, I would grind this again, but this is just... I only have 1 herb right now, so this is not looking good. What, dude? That's good. 7-2. No, weed sucks. Yeah, honestly, like, since being home, I recently smoked some weed with my little brother, and then I ended up picking up some more from a friend, you know, I used to have a very, very consistent ganja habit, and nowadays when I smoke it, it's just it's hard to describe. It's like I'm very familiar with being high, so it's like it's nothing like nice, good rain. It's nothing like that I can't handle, but it's very overwhelming. It leaves me a little bit confused nowadays, especially right after I get high because I never smoke. And the weed is just stupidly powerful now. It's just way too powerful. Um, and also, but I would also say that as soon as like as soon as the high peaks, which is usually after like hour maybe, like really peaks and starts to like significantly like come down. 17, 18, 19, 20. I just start to get so tired and just kind of like deflated. I would call it deflated. I just start to just go. And at that point, I either have to like. I also guess I feel like I almost get depressed there too, which I didn't ever used to really feel like as much. I guess I will say I was also like overall pretty depressed, so maybe it was just kind of, it didn't feel any out of the ordinary. But now it's like I either have to, at that point I need to smoke more or go to bed or something. And of course if it's in the middle of the day, I'm not going to bed, so. But I mean, if you've never like had, I guess I feel like I have like I'm about to run out of water actually, I just screwed up. Better run out right here. Oh no, okay, I'll fill tomorrow. I guess I would say part of my distaste for it now is because I kind of had that old relationship with it, and I just don't, it just kind of brings back, I think it's also kind of bringing back bad memories too. Just sort of, just in general, just with the experiences that I had with it. So now it just almost doesn't really feel the same. So it's kind of, yeah, I would definitely not necessarily, I can't really recommend it to people. I wouldn't like strictly tell people not to 8-3. But I guess people just need to be clear, I guess, with themselves on what the reasons are for smoking it. It's certainly going to be legal. I mean, the nice thing is that there is no legal repercussions now, which is the way it should be. But yeah, it's a bit odd. Oh, so did you used to drink a fair bit? So how would you say that you used to use alcohol? Like, what was your purpose for the drug? Really? But you don't feel like it ever like became a problem for you though? Okay, that's good. At least you never did that. Yeah, I'm not necessarily assuming that you were using it to like cover up. Like I was literally using marijuana to kind of mentally escape my issues. Not at first. That's certainly not what I did with it at first, but usually it doesn't work like that. I mean, I should say, usually it works like that. Usually, people don't abuse a substance originally, but maybe they eventually do. Okay, I see what you mean. It didn't ever like really like impact your life technically, but okay. See, but that's very. I would say that is a commendable quality of yours, that you are kind of introspective enough to recognize that. A lot of people don't even like really think to consider that an issue. They don't see anything wrong with that. So I think that's a very good thing. It can be hard to be introspective with drugs because drugs like okay, nice. They literally directly, change how you perceive things and perceive yourself, and they can very easily cover that type of introspection up if you let it. And a lot of times people are using it exactly for that reason. So that's good. That's good. So would you drink by yourself a lot then? You weren't really drinking with other people as much, or? And what was your drink of choice? Really? Interesting. Oh, nice. Yeah, I used to kind of like gin as well. What SS? It should be Friday now. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much all those things, yeah. Languages. Yeah, NoFap, yeah. Languages, I used to have a few different viewers who would, who kind of were into languages. I love to talk about linguistics. I mean, if people are ever interested in it, that's what I do, besides speedrunning and not beating my meat. If people are ever interested, that's why when you brought up Polish earlier, I always like talking about stuff like that. But it depends on my viewers too, of course. So 10. And this is Friday, I think. Yeah, it's Friday. Friday the 26th, I think. So one more gift to Joe. Just linguistics or just anything about languages. I like foreign languages, and like me and DP were talking the other day about Japanese, because he was thinking about learning Japanese, and so we talked a little bit about. Well, no, I mean we don't have to talk about it, but I was just giving that as another example. I mean, we've talked about Japanese a little bit because you said that. I mean, of course, you spent some time in Japan as a kid, so you know a little bit about Japanese. Of course, you can read it and stuff. So, but that's pretty much conspiracies, girls, philosophy, drugs, video games, and languages. Yeah, linguistics, languages. Oh yeah, and NoFap, yeah. NoFap's kind of a new one though, because I only recently actually committed to not beating my meat. Before I would not really talk about NoFap because I didn't really want to, because I was still beating my meat. And not trying to talk shit to people if they beat their meat, but it wasn't working for me. So. Kind of like weed. It's kind of a similar thing with weed, I feel like. And when I beat my meat again after not beating my meat for a long time, it felt similar to like how it felt when I. This should be the 28th. It felt when I smoked weed again after not smoking it for a really long time. Kind of odd thing I noticed. But I was probably abusing masturbation the same way I was abusing marijuana. Hey, if moderation works for you, then that's great. Sunday. I need 4 more herbs. I actually got some good late herbs there, but I'm still kind of tight here because I have 5 more gifts to Kurt. So damn, this is not looking good. Sometimes too, Penguin, I noticed that you'll get a different text box depending if you gifted them first. So I'm still trying to understand what's the relationship between the text that displays and the affection that's given. I don't think it's directly tied, but at the same time, sometimes the text box is shorter. Monday. The text box is shorter that plays. I did not need to. Okay, I kind of made a mistake. Keep forgetting that. Damn it. It's not really a mistake, but it is. I failed to take advantage of a time save I could have. So, but anyway, so it does sometimes change the text box that plays, which means sometimes it's going to be advantageous for you to. For you to gift first. Especially if it doesn't change the amount of affection that you get from the... Okay, this is Monday, I believe. Seven herbs. Yeah, it usually... Yeah, I suppose I've done the same thing, kind of. Just... kind of have to learn the hard way, I suppose, to me. Tuesday? Okay, just... I almost forgot, but... the problem with masturbation was porn, and also I found that, well, yeah, I think that I'm still trying to determine what's really the, what's really the purpose of masturbation for people. I can only answer that for myself, but I obviously think about what the purpose is for other people too. But at least with weed, the purpose was just that. Honestly, I felt it made me stupid. Like it was, you know, it's sort of the classic description that you get from people, you know, that you hear about just kind of using it as a kind of escapism, and I guess I found eventually that it was adversely affecting almost every part of my quality of life, from my mood to my sleep, especially. I never sleep the same when I'm smoking weed. Dude, are you kidding me? Please. I never sleep the same. It's always like a very hazy kind of like half sleep. Very, very strange kind of. Don't really dream. And I know a lot of people say they don't dream, but I don't believe them. I think they just don't remember their dreams. As long as I'm like on a decent sleep schedule and I'm sleeping at night and I get a good full sleep cycle, then I totally remember my dream. I mean, I might not remember it in full, obviously, but you know. But yeah, I mean, made me play worse than Sapphire. Obviously, I was getting fucking high playing Sapphire for pretty much like my entire career, except for the very end. Dude, come on. Please bite, please bite, please bite. Come on, this was actually good. This was actually like a good... Nice, okay. This is still decent, but it would have been better if I actually got it. Well, I mean, yeah, it fit into my life at the time. It took a long time. It actually took a long time for it to get to that point, which is partly why I didn't really think of it as too much of a problem, because all through college I literally just got high like well into the night. You know, weed puts a lot of people to sleep. But me, it just stimulates my mind so much, especially when I was younger, that it would keep me awake. So I would do it. I remember my toughest semester of college was first semester sophomore year, and I had 19 credits, and I was taking the two hardest linguistics classes at the same time, syntax and semantics. Hardest both conceptually and from the standpoint of how much work you had to do. And I 4-pointed the entire semester, every single course. I don't remember what else I had but I had a couple other hard. I had 5 classes. I had at least one other decently hard class as well that semester. And I had Japanese on top of that. And Japanese has a lot of homework in it as well, just because it's a language class. Wait, this is what day? This is Tuesday. Tuesday the 30th. What was I? Anyway, no. So, and I was smoking weed that whole time. That's all I did was pretty much smoke weed and do my homework. So it took a long time for it to get to that point. And I guess when I think back, I don't have memories of it affecting my sleep the way I'm describing it now. I maybe it's just my age or something. I used to be able to bounce right back up. I didn't skip class when I was a sophomore. I was going to all those classes. So I don't know. It just took a turn for me. Don't know what caused it, or maybe it was just because of the way I abused it. It's really hard to tell for me. But unfortunately, I'm short 3 herbs. Otherwise, this would be a good run. Why am I short? Oh, this is Thursday. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it became more of a crutch over time. I would say it took probably 4 or 5 years before that really set in, where it was like kind of indisputable for me. Wow, I'm actually short 3 herbs. I can get lucky today, but one more day after this to try it, and this is the 3rd, right? This is the 3rd of oh wait, no, it's not. And then yeah, as far as jerking off, it's just like, I don't know. I just over time I felt like it was kind of distorting my. It sounds cliche. Maybe it's bullshit. Maybe this doesn't happen to other people. Whatever. But I just felt like it was kind of distorting my sociality, like my ability to not just relate to girls, but like, because I honestly during the last from 20. Dude, oh my god. That was terrible. During, 2014 to 2017, I was pretty much never talking to any girls, except for my family, Yeah, I was pretty, I could run up there, nah, I'm not going to, it's slower. Yeah. So, I was pretty much never really talking to girls. But even so, it's still just, maybe it was all in my head. I don't care at this point, to be honest. If I feel like it's in my head, then it's as real as it gets, honestly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel so much better. Yeah. I mean, part of it's admittedly, the kind of porn I was watching. You end up, you eventually, at least me, I won't speak for other people, I ended up eventually watching some, I wouldn't say weird shit. I'm not into like really weird shit. It's just that I feel like on the whole, porn has just gotten a bit more extreme on average. So, if you wanted to find softcore porn, you'd have to go out of your way to find it. No. I'm not into like scat or some fucking two girls, one cup or anything like that. But my point is, it's just, so anyway, and I didn't like that. And I didn't, it was eerie to me that, that was, kind of arousing to me. I was like, wait a second, is this really, okay. Hopefully there's 2 more herbs here somewhere, because otherwise we're basically, oh, is there one right there? No, that's, okay. Anyway, that's just me spitballing kind of, but. Yeah, and I feel like it's a bit weird to talk about because, when I talk to guys about fapping, they're like, most of them are probably fapping, so it gets a bit awkward. But one thing I found interesting is, maybe it's funny to people that I talk about fapping on stream or whatever, but, I'm relatively comfortable talking about almost anything, really. But I find it interesting how pretty much every dude is fapping, and fapping with reasonable regularity. Some people quite regularly. I was fapping quite regularly. Maybe that was part of my problem. But despite that, it's still something that no men talk about, really, right? And I just find that a little bit, it's like if it's something that you do all the time, shouldn't you be comfortable? I mean, the fact that you're not comfortable talking about it, or that it feels a bit weird, I guess to me, I feel like that says something. I'm not sure necessarily, I won't say what it says, but it seems like it might say something. No. Did I watch Back Torso? No. No, I'm not familiar with that film. So, I don't know, I started to think about that, that's actually kind of, so does that mean that people are just embarrassed, or does it mean they actually feel bad about, because everyone's watching porn ultimately, so do they feel bad about the porn they're watching, oh shit, dude. Because let's be real about the conditions that a lot of porn is produced in. It's, not the, you can have like a very libertine attitude about it and go, oh, well, these women, they consented to do this, and sure thing they did, but, still a bit, okay, come on, dude. I literally had this, man, and then I could have got a couple herbs, too. This is not looking good. Come on, bite, dude, bite. Okay, well, we're fucked. Dude. Backdoor. Oh, is that South Park? The fractured butthole. Literally no. Okay, so I need one more. Long live VHS porn. Anyway, so I started to find that just a bit. The whole thing just a little bit odd. Probably should. I thought that I was almost sundown, but maybe it wasn't. Right, this is Friday the 3rd. Come on, dude. Wow, I actually caught those that fast. feel like more women get into prostitution escort services for positive reasons than porn. Wait, so you're saying you feel like they get in, they're more likely, you feel like the reasons for getting into the former are more positive than the latter, is what you're saying. Okay, interesting. Yeah. No, believe me, I think that it seems like porn is just especially nowadays, is just a giant machine. They're just pumping out as much as they possibly can. It's incredible to me how much consistently new porn there is now, constantly. Saturday, okay, we just need that, actually we have 2 chances basically for a, actually 3 for an herb. No, dude. Okay, well there goes 1. So now he's at 16. I have to trigger a cutscene on Tuesday, which gives me another chance. And then on the day that I give him the herbs, it can also be an herb there. I just need 1. Dude. Oh my god. Oh, it's okay. So this is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Most smart shows could be escorts. Honestly, not a huge difference other than it's a script story versus someone's actual event. So we're not into that kind of shit unless it's a yeah. Nice. Okay, here's our herb. Okay, so our herb count is good. And then so today is Tuesday the 7th. Sorry, I'm just counting my days here. Oh wait. This is Thursday the 9th. No, why did I do this? What the hell? I literally had it perfect, and I just messed it up. Wow. Yeah, I just messed that up. That was literally perfect. And then I just, yeah. Why did I do it on Thursday? It was set up exactly to do it the way I was supposed to do it. Don't know what the hell I was thinking. This is now Friday, the 10th. Yeah, what the hell was I thinking? Yeah, that's kind of a mistake, but it doesn't really lose that much time. Yeah, this is definitely probably a minute slower than the last run, maybe more. Yeah, so, and then I also kind of started to feel like, you know, so with my feeling toward, you know, the porn, you know, that's all well and good, and you could say, oh, well, then just quit watching porn or whatever, and then, you know, just still beat your meat. Well, not only am I then kind of questioning, okay, why was I beating my meat in the first place, really? Because I never really asked myself that question anyway, because I started beating my meat when I was like 12 years old or 11 years old, because that's just what happened. I just figured out how to do it. Friday the 10th. 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I mean, I'm consistently getting the cutscenes correctly, so this is all, that's at least going well. So I'm playing the ending correctly. So that's good. You know, I never really asked myself that question in the first place. But then I kind of thought, okay, well, how, you know, if I just jerk off normally, but no porn, what am I supposed to be thinking about? Because I can remember the last time that I beat off without porn, and that was like when I used to do that. I was like, I don't know, probably 12 maybe, or younger. No, probably 12. Yeah, I mean between 12 and 13. By the time I was like 14, 15, I was able to watch porn because I had a laptop. Which is the other dangerous thing about giving a young man a laptop. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you would beat off. I don't know if you used to do that. I think that's probably common. But yeah, to some girl in my class, or had a hot teacher one time, or just weird stuff like that. You know, I don't have a problem admitting that. That's just kind of, you know, probably fairly normal. Not saying that it's right, but yeah, but that's the thing. And in my opinion, that's, you know, better than watching the kind of stuff that you see online. But then I asked myself, okay, so if I beat off now, what am I supposed to do? On the one hand, you know, I could try and do it to some, you know, I'm not gonna do it to my old teacher, that's for sure, right? Because that's, you know, that ship has sailed, you know, no thank you. And then on the other hand, it's like, okay, so what, do I do it to somebody who I know or something like that, you know? No, obviously I'm not gonna do that, because this just seems, I don't know, to me, I feel like it's crossing a line then. To me, I have a girlfriend now. I don't really like the idea of doing that, necessarily. Not because I think, well, yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways to look at it. You know, you could look at it as kind of harmless, as long as, you know, you're still, yeah, I guess I just don't look at it as harmless. So, and then, you know, furthermore, okay, so then what do I do? Do I do it to some fantasy about my girlfriend then? Okay, well, what's the point of doing that, since I have the girlfriend already? I mean, she's real, you know, and we're in a relationship together, so, you know, I really have to do that, right? So then that brings you back to the original question. Okay, what's the point of beating your meat? Seems like you answered that question. Really? No, I'm not telling you not to. I'm going through my thought process. Although I think that even if I hadn't gotten together with my girlfriend, I probably it still would have been the right thing to do for me to quit beating my meat. But I can't. Yeah, I certainly can't promote that to other people. But yeah, it's a sort of a weird thing, because it becomes kind of a catch-22. It's like, well, I'm single, might as well beat my meat. But to me, I was honestly, I couldn't help but think that I was still single because I was beating my meat. And, you know, certainly doesn't make you feel good to think that or to suspect that when, you know, you've been single for 6 years or whatever it was, 5 years, I guess, and you're kind of like, at least interested in, I don't know, spending some reasonably non-platonic time with somebody, you know. Well, it becomes kind of difficult, you know. So, it's sort of a whole weird thing. Hopefully this run goes on YouTube. It'll be a perfect no-fap advertisement. Find yourself a nice girl, get monogamous, and quit jerking off. But these are at least questions for people to ask themselves. I think they're healthy questions to ask, even if, you know, can't tell you what the answer is. Everybody has to answer for themselves, but they're certainly important to ask. Really? Only one? Man, I feel like when I was in middle school, a fair number of my classmates knew what it was. I was kind of surprised. I find most people repulsive. What do you mean? Well, obviously, if you're looking for somebody who's like really, really, really lights your fire, then it's only going to be one every, only one in a very few people that are going to do that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to have standards at all. Really? Yeah, it's kind of tough, yeah. My girlfriend she has not really ever played video games, so I can't, certainly can't speak for her. She's very accepting of my disease, though. My speed disease. I literally released it immediately. Dude, why aren't you really in, dude? Dude, oh, I have to press A there? Are you kidding me? I have to press circle? Okay. Shit, I was trying to hold start there. Okay. Okay. That's good enough for me. It's not 101, unfortunately, but I literally just didn't get enough rain. Rain makes a big difference. So clean run though. Can't say it wasn't. It was definitely a clean run. Played it well. Did make one mistake at the end. Yeah, actually, I should say I made a couple mistakes, but they were not major mistakes. One of the mistakes I made is if you don't lose any crops, you technically only need to sell 38. So after the last harvest, after the second to last harvest, you can start watering only 6 of your 8 corn, and then only harvest 6 of them. I just kind of autopiloted and watered all of them, because sometimes you need to water all of them. Is, for example, if you lose crops. I just wasn't thinking about it. Well, I've improved a lot in just the runs tonight. So yeah, you might as well. Yeah, I mean, I really think that it's worth it. Obviously doing what we do with speedruns is rewarding, or else we wouldn't do it. And obviously I still do it. I find it rewarding. And I would not be with somebody who thought that it was kind of just a ridiculous waste of time, and thought I should grow up and quit doing this. But at the same time, yeah, I definitely see a lot of value in the balance of spending time with somebody special like that. So yeah, I want that for all my all my buddies, obviously, including my speed homies, that we could solve these games and have a good time doing it. But relationships are important too. So yeah, hopefully that you do. I'm sure. Florida is kind of a mess as far as the dating scene goes. But it's honestly so hard anyway. I don't know what advice I would give to people other than just to say that you kind of just have to live your life, but make sure that you're spending enough time out in the world that you have a decent chance to just kind of serendipitously discover somebody, because dating apps are complete, utter, just I don't even know what I don't even know how to describe them. Like, my experiences on them, I would not I would never ever go back. Even if I lost the relationship I have now, I would just wait to get lucky again, because it's not worth. I think, well, I think they're a conspiracy, not a conspiracy per se, like, but it seems like somebody is profiting off of our misery. Not sure who or in exactly what way, but I can't believe for a second that I should say I have every reason to believe that other men's the majority of other men's experiences, possibly women too, on dating apps are just as horrible as mine. What do you think, everybody? Yeah, no, exactly. And they profit in different ways, because people who are miserable spend more money. So I actually think that, if you're single and miserable, a lot of people profit from that, even if they're not the ones running the dating apps. So it doesn't have to be some kind of grand, like, Illuminati thing. When I say conspiracy, I do think that, I saw some, like, the new advertising campaign for Tinder is single, not sorry. It's like, so what? You're using Tinder to promote singlehood, so you're basically admitting it's a hookup app, except nobody's hooking up on it. Really? At least I'm not. I don't really know anybody who does. How did I lose time there?